John White here, checking in this morning as excited. I'm excited about the apprenticeship. You may have seen the numbers so far. We have 7 cohorts that are just beginning, 42, 43 CO2s, still a few people filtering in this week, and that represents about 80 to 85 people who are going through this training for 12 weeks. And the thing that surprised me is 8 different countries. I'm amazed at how this thing has spread. So I am excited. And by the way, this video, I'm making this video for people who are in the apprenticeship, but other people may be watching it. Maybe in the future the Lord will lead you to be a part of the apprenticeship as well. I woke up this morning, and a lot of times when I wake up, first thing in the morning is when the Lord speaks to me. And this morning I felt like what he said was, tell them to think like a missionary. And so when I got my coffee and went to my chair and sat down with my journal, I began to listen to the Lord some more about this. And here's my sense of what he was saying, the spontaneous thoughts that came to mind. A missionary is someone who is led by the Holy Spirit to go to a different culture to share the love of Jesus with people. And in this case, the different culture is the internet and social media. By social media, I mean Facebook, a Ning group, or a Google group. I know the different cohorts are using different ones of these platforms. And for some of you, you're perfectly fine with this. That's not a different culture at all. But there are others of us, like myself, for whom it feels like a different culture. I've even heard people say, you know, you can't really fellowship with people in that context. If I'm not face-to-face with somebody, it just kind of misses something. So it's those of us that I think the Lord is speaking to. So as I listened, I felt like he told me 4 things briefly and what it means to think like a missionary. Number 1, to understand that at least initially it may be awkward and frustrating. It's kind of like learning a new language, but that it will get comfortable over time. So the first thing is to be patient with the process. Number 2, a missionary has the mentality of a learner. They have the idea of experimenting with things, trying things, being curious. And so I want to encourage you to do that. See if you can learn one new thing about your social media every day. You can go, a lot of times they'll have a help section, or you can go to Google. I simply put in new Facebook groups videos. And what I found is there are all kinds of people who've made tutorials about how to work with Facebook groups. And that's a good way for me to learn, is to use those tutorials. So be a learner. Think like a learner. Ask for help. If you get on your discussion forum and you don't know how to do something, ask for help. Number 3, be a teacher. As you learn things about how to use your particular discussion group, share that with the rest of people. There's a verse in 1 Thessalonians that talks about help the weak. And there are some of us who are technologically weak or challenged, and we need others to kind of help us. But as we learn things, we can pass that on to other people. For instance, on the Facebook group, I noticed that it has the capacity to form a chat group just with people on our group. That would be a fun thing to learn about, experiment with, try it out. So be a teacher. Tim Morris is a good example of this. He's got a Ning group for his cohort, and he actually made a little video for his group on how to use the Ning site. I think that's excellent. I hope we have a lot of those kind of things that we can do. So as a teacher, look for people who are struggling. Look for people that are having a hard time engaging, and reach out to them. Number 4, frequency matters. It's kind of like learning a new language again, learning a new culture. Repetition is important. Practice is important. That's why we said the commitment you make in the apprenticeship is to connect online with your cohort in your discussion group as close to every day as you possibly can. So every day, get on there and post something. Do your check-in, share sachet, interact with one of the learning assignments, or just go read what somebody else has written. And every day, put something in there, even if it's, hey, I really liked what you said here. That would be really helpful to people. And for some of us, maybe even more than once a day if you have time. It doesn't have to be a long time. You can go take a look at your group for 5 minutes in the evenings and post something there. See what people have written. Frequency really matters. So those are 4 ideas on what it means to think like a missionary as we enter into this to the apprenticeship. I wanted to share one thing for prayer. I noticed that our Australian cohort, they've got a big cyclone that's headed their way. They've had a terrible year in terms of flooding already, and the cyclone likely will knock out their power. And so I want us to pray for them. It's a whole cohort. There are 4 CO2s in Australia who are part of the apprenticeship. Keep them in your prayers. So check back here regularly, probably every other day or so. I'm going to post something on how to get the most out of the apprenticeship. This is the place, the Stories from the Revolution blog, where we can kind of tell the larger story of the apprenticeship. So it's not just about your cohort, but this is a place where cohorts can learn from one another, where we can tell stories and encourage one another. So again, I'm excited. I'm delighted to be a part of this with you, to be on the journey with you, and I'll check back here with something in the next couple of days. Bye for now.